Okay, awesome. Perfect. So, welcome, ladies, for our second edition of the Closers University live call with the ladies only and Javran, of course. How you all doing? Oh,
Doing
and
really
Fatima
good.
as well.
Thank you.
Awesome. We've got Sarah, Hajra, Lily, Mina, Karen, Devika is about to put a camera on, and we've got Margaret. So today's look, ladies, today's call is going to be a bit different. I'm going to be doing direct, not only training but also coaching on exactly where you lot are right now and where is it you want to go. So I really want to make this as valuable as possible. So have a think about, what is it you're struggling with? What is it you need help with? We're live on the YouTube channel as well. So if anyone has any questions, you can just pop them there as well. But I wanted to start off with Lily, because Lily, you want to become a closer, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, nice. Why do you want to become a closer?
Uh, because this is something that I feel I can do it. That's for sure. And this is something that through the communication with people, I can help them reach their goals, be part of reaching their goals. You know?
Just pause there for a minute. You said you feel like you can do it, so you can be a closer.
Yeah.
Um, are you so okay? So you feel like you can be a closer. Are you applying for closer positions?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Do you feel like you're ready to be a closer?
For me, not ready. Uh, because I want to go through the whole process. You know,
Give us an insight, as in, what do you mean you want to go through the whole process?
I want to go through the whole process when it comes from DM setting, triaging, and then into the closing, right? Because as a closer, the same thing, and you were teaching this as well. You're doing follow-ups. You're sending so many DMs before setting, qualifying them through the DMs, that's something that also is part of the closer's role. Another thing, organization, how you organize yourself, the technical things, CRMs, and all these things. I mean, maybe I am overcomplicating this, right? But I just don't like to rush into the things. I'm 54 years old. I learned so many things in my life, and this is how I like to go, you know.
Nice. And look, it makes complete sense as well. As you lot know, or some of you guys know, I started off as, oh my God, what did I do? I was like an administrator. I was like, it was a crazy role. I was doing admin work. I was adding, and this is me with 25 years of experience in sales. So, but when I found out about this industry, I was like, oh my God, this is insane. So obviously I'm gonna negotiate because I'm always negotiating. The guy only wanted to pay, I think, $1,500 for an appointment. He wanted an appointment setter, triager, closer, and that's what he advertised as an appointment setter, triager, and closer. He wanted like a hybrid sales professional, which is fine, no problem. And then he was willing to pay a base as well, which was decent. And this was my first ever experience in the high ticket sales industry. And I was like, well, $1,500, that is, and I'm in the UK. So $1,500 is like just over £1,000, or whatever. It wasn't £1,500. So I was like, hang on a minute, I'm earning more than that in my full-time job. Well, I'm earning double that. I was like, oh, this is, I was like, no, I don't want that. And then he was like, okay, I'm gonna pay you, was it $2,000? I was like, no, I want £2,000. Because this was after I wowed him. Obviously, you need to wow them first. So I And I didn't care what I was going to do. It was like it's sales. I've done sales all my life, so I'm just going to be prepared to do it. So I'm speaking to him and we're negotiating. So first of all, obviously I wowed him and I got referred to him as well. Once I knew that he wanted to hire me, now it's because and I knew that he knew about my experiences and accolades and I can do the job. Now I'm like, okay, let's talk about terms. So and then he gives me and bearing in mind, I don't really know much about the high ticket sales industry, as apart from you can make a lot of money. I didn't know about appointment setting, triaging, closing, or whatever. I did not know any of this. All I knew was I was an experienced sales pro, and this was high ticket sales. Where if I sold premium products or if I sold something for $5,000, $10,000, I could potentially make $1,000, $2,000. So for me, I was prepared to do whatever. I didn't care. So, anyways, we decide, okay, we want to move forward, but now it's the pay. And I was like, look, bro, pay me £2,000 and I'm in. So from $1,500, it went to £2,000. When he sent that payment in my bank account, and he paid me before I got started, £2,000. That's the most money anyone had ever given me for anything or like just anything. I was like, oh my God, this guy just gave me £2,000. Like £2,000. For me, it was surreal. And I was like, oh my God, this industry is actually real. Like this is surreal. So, anyways, I get down to the work and now, like just like how you're saying, Lily, like you want to understand everything. I accidentally got to understand everything just by accepting that role. So I think it's a really good idea. And it's there's a company called B&B Formula. And many people don't like this, but I really like what they do. They have everybody starting as an appointment setter. They even have COOs and the top executives in their company all started off as appointment setters. And I thought that was fantastic. And their appointment setters make like north of like 8 to 15 to $20,000 a month as well. And they pay them quite handsomely. And some salespeople or closers would be like, oh, I'm not going to do appointment setting, or I'm not going to do this. And but look, each to their own. But what I like about their philosophy is that if all the team they understand the work that's required to set the appointments, the work that's required to set the appointments, if they understand it there, then they will do a good job in maybe triaging, then maybe closing, and all the senior positions as well. They'll understand everything, and it's good for you to understand everything. So let's just say you land in a company where you're just a closer, the leads coming through Facebook, and you're going to have to do everything. So you're going to have to maybe not set the appointment, but confirm the appointment, touch base with them. It's a bit like what I tell all of you guys to do in terms of the meeting before the meeting. That's like the setting and the triaging. And that's what a professional closer would do, is have and make sure that the meeting before the meeting is happening. So I really like that about you, Lily. One, but there's another thing I like about your approach as well. You're being I don't know if realistic is the word, but you're like, okay, I know I'm not fully ready to become a closer, and I'm not going to say, okay, I'm going to go for a closer, or I'm going to go for this. You understand where you're at, what you need to sharpen your axe on, and you're willing to do that in order to get to where you want to get to. And I think that's great, because a lot of people, they don't understand this. And this is where they mess up. Just be real with yourself. And look, I'm not saying be real, always be realistic. Have unrealistic goals as well. But then also be realistic with where you are, where you're at, and what you need to do in order to get to those unrealistic goals. But I don't think anything like, look, me personally, Lily, I think maybe, can I be honest with you here? Because I'm going to give you some solid coaching over here right now. And I'm going to speak to you like I'm speaking to a loved one. Like I see all of you girls as my sisters, my siblings, my friends. So I'm going to give you, like, some of it's going to be a bit of tough love, and it's going to be direct talk. I'll rather you have that direct conversation with me and you hit your goals. Like, would you love that? Would you love to hit your goals and just have that bit of tough conversation with me I see Sarah putting her fingers, a thumbs up, and Mina putting a thumbs up. Karen's like, I don't know yet. Margaret and Zainab both have their cameras off, so I'm not even going to speak to them too. But anyways, Hajra is there. Hajra is ready. You all saw Hajra on the last Zoom call. I still remember Hajra now. Like, look, if you look at Hajra, she's like nice, quiet, and calm. The moment she presses unmute, boom, she just she's like a pocket rocket, and I loved it. Honestly, I loved it. And this is like just watching some of the you girls is I always say you guys, so just forgive me if I do keep saying it. Um, but like I loved to see the growth in so many of the women from the last live that we did with you lot as well, and how you all connected with one another and how you grew your relationships. Because look, a lot of you are going to connect with one another. You're going to have opportunities land on your laps and all that as well. And look, this is like what you guys are doing right now. You're looking to sharpen your axe, and eventually your axe is going to be sharp. And then when you're going to go to knock or chop that tree down, rather than that you taking years for that tree to chop down with a blunt axe, it's sharp enough now. You're getting the job done easily, and that's what I mean about sharpening the axe. So Lily, time for some tough love.
Go ahead.
No, I'm kidding. But look, there's one thing that I've identified with you, Lily, because obviously you lot know, or some of you know that I come from a psychology background, and I'm massive on like human behavior, and I've studied psychology and everything, and mindset is the first thing that you lot need to really grab a hold of and really really figure out. And Lily, I don't believe you give yourself enough credit for who you are and what you're capable of. Like, that's what I see from sometimes, because when I look at you, I'm like, she's someone that has so much. I like, because there's times where I speak to you, I'm like, yes, Lily, you have the confidence and you can do it. But then maybe there's some, I don't know, because we all get it. We all get those little whispers in our ears, and they're like, oh no, and oh this and oh that, and maybe not. So I don't know. Maybe you need to have some tough conversations with yourself, and ask yourself, as in, not even ask yourself, tell yourself honestly, the mind is so good that you can just trick your mind into believing anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I want you to trick your mind. I want you to tell your mind what you're capable of doing and what you want. If it's the closer that you want to become, look, let me tell you, you don't fully need to, for you to study, as in, what the sales process is and what you need to do. You don't even need to be, honestly, you don't really need to be in a triage setter role to know what's required of the role. What are we doing right now? We're on a Zoom call. All you need to do is speak to some triages, speak to some setters. If you know that you want to become a closer, I'm becoming a closer. Do I mind being a setter and triager? That's good. That's a different topic. But if you know deep down, I'm a closer, and I am a closer, and I have what it takes, then that's it. Okay, I'm going to become a closer, but I don't mind picking up triaging and setting in the meantime, just to get the money rolling. It's something that I spoke to one of the girls earlier on today. She sent me her intro video and everything and all of that. And English is not her first language, so you can tell when she's speaking. But we could work on the accents and everything and all of that as well. English is not her first language, so I said to her, look, it's great that you want to become an outbound dialer, caller, and everything. But look, let's face it, people are judging all the time. And like, a lot of the times when we get a foreign voice call or whatever, we just put the phone down. Most of us, like humans, most of the times, that's what we do. So and like she was jumping right to the deep end. And it's good because you're gonna build your thick skin. And like honestly, I would recommend everyone to do some sort of cold calling, door to door, whatever. The skin that you develop there and the skill that you develop there, like as soon as they open the door, you need to grab their attention, maybe make them off, or have them put their guard down, like, oh look, I'm not doing this and I'm not that. And like there's so many things that go on with that, and like having the door slammed in your face constantly, or like you're knocking the door and you can see someone's in, but they're not opening the door. I went through all of that, but I embraced it and I loved it and I enjoyed it. With cold calling, you calling people and like people and you connecting with them and they're like, talk to you, boom, they put the phone down. But what do most normal people do? They'll call someone, oh, they're not answering, put the phone down. Guess what I would do? I would send them a text message. I would send them a text message. I would send them an email. Because to me, I'm thinking to myself, is this my ideal client? If the answer is yes, then guess what I'm doing? I'm just going to be creative in guess what? My follow up. Because we all know it takes between 8 and 12 interactions and touch points for someone to show a buying behavior or even buy or close or whatever you want to call it. So if I know that and I'm doing cold calling or I'm doing cold outreach, I'm going to be creative in my messages that I'm sending out. I'm going to be creative and maybe I'll send them, oh, hey, it's me calling from Y. Sorry, I missed your call. We saw that you opted in for some more information. Here's our website, and just let me know, if you have any questions. That would be my first touch point. My second touch point would be maybe a few hours later. Hey, Fatima, hope you are well. I don't know if you've seen whatever I sent you. sent you. Let me know if you've got any questions or whatever. You can plan all of this out. Look, some of you guys don't even need to plan it out. Guess what you need to do? Just opt into some people's opt-ins and whatever, and look at the follow-ups that they send you. And look at the good ones that make you want to read them. Now you store them. Girls, let me tell you, you know how easy it is to land opportunities and how, when you're at interviews, to show business owners. Man, what I'm going to share with you right now is crazy. You are going to be able to stand out from the rest of the crop, from everybody. Are you telling me, like, look, if you're going to an interview, and look, an interview simply is as an opportunity for them to get to know who you are and whether or not you're able to do the job or not. So how are you coming across? Are you coming across confident? Are you coming across someone that believes in themselves? And I want you to remind me to touch upon this part as well, because there's because I'm going to be doing a little experiment in a few months, couple of months, or maybe even sooner, where I want to show, and I'm going to do it live, and I'm just announcing it right now in front of all of you, and even on YouTube live. I'm gonna, because I get so many of my students saying to me, "Oh, Jabran, like I just want to land 20K, 30K, 40K offer where I can make 2, 3, 4 grand commissions in one sale, and that's all good, and I can just hit 20K a month." I'm like, okay, yeah, that's great and it's good, but you can also hit 20K a month, even just selling not low ticket, but like a 5K, 10K offer as well. Okay, let's just say if it's a 10K offer and you're making 10%, well, you only need 10 deals in that month to make 10 grand. You only need 20 deals to make 20 grand. Heck, I was doing 40 plus units of a 5K and a 10K offer, and I unlocked 40, 50, 60K comms. But like some would say, oh, but that was last year. And then since then, I was managing sales teams, scaling them to 1.5 million, plus a month. So I'm actually going to go and close on a low offer and show people how you can make 20, 30, 40 grand, selling 5K, 10K. Because so many people have got it in their head. I was like, oh, I just need to sell this high offer and I can make 20, 30 grand, which is true.
But don't you think, Jabran, that's the difference between external responsibility and internal responsibility, right? It's all about the offer, the offer, the offer. Why don't we just look in the mirror and go, how am I performing? How am I showing up? Where's my confidence? Where's my skill? Like, am I like pushing and hustling and working and like, right?
It's no, you're totally right, and it's a bunch of factors. Oh my God. But I just feel like some people just get caught up on, oh, I just need to be on it. And oh my God, I can go on a rant over here right now where so many people I've put them on great offers and they still look for another offer. I'm thinking to myself, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? You've just been given a huge opportunity right now. And I think it's because look, people always look And I want you to elaborate on this point as well, Fatima, because it's so important. People they get this shiny object syndrome, but then not only that, it's they go for the path of least resistance. Now, look, we see, like, let's just take a step back and look at this industry. Let's just say, like, we never knew about this industry, and we're seeing, oh my God, like, you sell something for 10 grand, you make 10%, you can make $1,000. And you can take 8 calls in a day, and maybe you close 2, you've made $2,000 in a single day. Or maybe, you've taken 20 sales calls and you close 2, or whatever it is. So it looks great and everything. But then what most people don't know, okay, let's just say you can make 2 grand for a sale. But what most people fail to recognize is you may have to work for 2-3 days and speak to so many people, and maybe they don't even show up. Maybe the ones that show up, they're just not ready to buy, and they're not going to pay right away. So you may have to speak to 20, 30 people in order to get 2 or 3 yeses. But from the outside, it looks like, oh my God, it's great. You can make high ticket commissions and everything. But when it comes to doing the work, they're like, oh, you know what? The leads are not
100% right. There is a real big missing in the industry on work ethic. And like showing up like an athlete, doing your reps. Like, you want to go to the Olympics, you don't go from the minor leagues to the Olympics and winning a gold medal in one day.
It's so true. And this is why I commend Lily for willing to just do whatever it takes to get not only the reps in, sharpen her axe, and go and become, where she wants to be, the gold medal or whatever she wants to do. But what I want all of you guys to know, look, if you have a dream, you have a goal, not only do you need to protect it, but you also need to be prepared. And it's something that I heard about, you're a seed. You're a seed. Now, what does a seed need in terms to grow? A seed needs all the dirt chucked on it, the water chucked on it. It needs to get dug right deep into the ground with all, and what's that dirt? That's the growth. Like, those are the humps, the bumps, and all that on your journey. And, right now, we're a seed, but we're not willing to be dug right deep into the ground. We're not willing to have the dirt shoved on us. We're not willing to be uncomfortable. But then it's through this uncomfortable, and it's through this uneasiness and all this pain and all those rough journeys where we're going to be able to grow, learn, and develop and become the flower, whatever it is that we want to become. And some of us, we land roles and like, oh, you know what? The leads are cold. Oh, the leads are bad. Oh my God. Salespeople that I hear saying the leads are bad or the leads are cold, I'm just like, you guys just don't understand. You just want everything on the platter. It's like going door to door and be like, oh, nobody's opening the door, or like you're calling and like nobody's answering. Yeah, of course. That's why, like, look, sales is not for everybody. Like, it's not for everybody. You need thick skin, but you need to be able to grow. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. You're not just going to walk in and everything's going to be perfect, because if that was the case, everybody would be winning here and everybody would be doing this. So you just need to be prepared that, you know what, I need to go through the rough. And this is what most people fail to do. Or like, they get given an opportunity and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm only making $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 over here. Maybe I need a higher ticket offer. No, you just need to work harder. Like, so many people I know, they're just not willing to put the work in. They want this big money, but they're not willing to put the work. And they're like, the goal is there, but the work ethic is right here. You can't even see it. And they're like, oh yeah, I'm like, look, I don't, oh my God. Because look, for you to do anything great in life, for you to do anything great, and I mean like really big and huge, I don't know if you guys even want to do that, but I want to leave a mark behind. I want my kids, I want my nephews and nieces and everybody around me like, yeah, that was my uncle. That's my dad. He did this. And I want it, like, for me, I want to impact millions of people. So I'm not going to do that playing average. For years, I kept myself away from the public eye. Like I only recently started the YouTube channel. Like I've been getting results and doing things behind closed doors for years. But then I was like, I'm not inspiring the millions of. I want to inspire millions of people, but I wasn't putting myself out there to be heard by millions, by thousands, and impacting others. So I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm gonna go public with this, and I'm going to help people, and I'm going to transform lives. But I'm not gonna do that by playing small. I don't really like social media. Some would be like, oh my God, Jabran's always on social media. I hate social media because it's such a distraction. But I also know that it could be used for so much good. It's like a knife. A knife can be used for some wrong things, but it could also be used to,
Cut a
cut your
nice
food.
steak. Cut a nice
Yeah.
steak to break my fast.
Oh my God, I love a steak. I love a steak. That's my favorite dish. But
But
look,
you say something really important, Jabran. And what I've seen in the industry, when you talk about you want the platinum lifestyle, and you're coming in with the brass attitude and the brass work ethic, okay? And here's the word that comes up for me. There is a sense of casualness. I'm gonna come in, oh laissez-faire, you serve me, and I'm like, dude, this is not the place for you, right? You gotta come in hungry, like so hungry, with a drive, where you know that nobody is going to stand in your way. Yes, kindness and love and compassion, but you got that inner hunger that you don't need outside motivation. You just born and you wake up, you do your prayers and you are on, with the fire. And that's so missing.
want it. They want it, but it's like saying, yeah, oh my God. So I tell people, like, look, you gotta be hungry. And some of the guys, they do listen. They're like, yeah, Jabran, I'm hungry. I'm like, you're not even like, even the way you're saying you're hungry, you don't even sound hungry. Like, if you're hungry, I'm like, but I'm hungry. I am starving. And it's like, you don't even sound hungry. How the hell are you gonna make me believe that you're hungry?
I know, like on a Zoom call, like, okay, lean back. I'm hungry.
I'm
No, you're
hungry,
not.
man.
No,
I'm
you're not.
starving. And look, and it really just goes to, you want to make you want to not only say, okay, let's talk about hunger, ladies. Let's talk about hunger. And Hadra, I want you to chip in. What does it mean to be hungry? Hadra's gonna
Okay,
knock us
hello.
all out now.
Okay, hello everyone. Hope everyone's doing good today. Okay, so for me, like what it means to be hungry, you need to know, be attached to your why and be reminded every day, like, why are you doing this? You don't need other people to clap for you. Yet you are going to have to realize that this is a like journey on your own for some time. You understand? Some people think they need the motivation, they need people to see that they're putting in efforts. You need to be like real with yourself and also be connected with your why every single day. Have you achieved your why? Like everyone's why is different, everyone's motivation is different. If you're attached to that every single day, then you're going to show up every single day hungry. That's what I believe. And we should take things one step at a time. Some people just want to go into the networking, learning the role, so I believe like you need to know where you need to start from. You need to be self-aware and also work on those things on your own without anyone seeing you. You can be documenting your journey, but you need to know that you don't need people to clap for you. You don't need people to motivate you. As long as you're attached to your why, you're going to keep on being hungry. So yeah, that's what
Tell me how hungry you are right now for your reason why. Tell us.
Okay. Like for me, I'm very, very hungry because I just want to be able to first of all, I came into this space wanting to learn something that I can do on my own and see like I can do something. Then when I got into the space and I realized like, okay, I actually have the qualities, some of it, and I realized that I just need to push myself, be confident in myself. And my why is to be able to motivate other girls, other people that are just like me from like that are not in the US, Canada, and showing them that they can actually do it, but you need to you need to take that first step. So I want to be the representation for other people to see, more people like me to come up in this space and seeing that they can do. Because there are many people that don't see many people representing them, and they feel like that they don't think they can succeed. And for me, I want to be that like success story, like someone like me from Nigeria, 20 years old, a college student, and every day showing up the best that I can, also serving others. So that's my reason why.
Thank you. Mina, tell me how hungry you are.
So inspiring, Hajra. So inspiring.
So
Love it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was great. It's so good to be with you guys. And like you said, I am so hungry. And hungry, speaking about hunger in the month of Ramadan, kind of just connect with how hungry we get to, like, by the end of the fast is like the deep desire of like, maybe just a sip of water, maybe just a little bite, you know? And so that hunger of, you know, getting closer and closer to my goal is like Lily, like I'm willing to do whatever it's going to take. I will do what it takes to be able to reach that, you know, reach that goal, the ultimate goal of inspiring, of motivating, of being there for people. Like I'm going to have to go through that hard work to actually come out to be that inspiration. So I am really hungry.
Awesome. Now, very good, very good. Thank you, Fatima, for reminding. Like Hajra said so many great things, but I was just so fixated on who the next person was. You know, I totally missed. You know, and I wanted to, you know, come back and you know, just commend you, Hajra, for like wanting to be, you know, at such a young age as well, you know, wanting to be that example in your community to others. And that's what it, you know, that's what it means to have like a big reason why, bigger than you as well. So it's very good. What are you currently doing, Hajra, right now? Like what are you working on? Are you looking to be a closer, a setter, or tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay, so currently, the start of the year, I was upping my networking game. Then I created my tribe. I have the people that were like putting in 100% effort into me. So I was very close to my tribe, and I was having like referral. And I had a couple of interviews, and I had like a solid one. I was about to onboard on that, but something along the way happened, and I realized that now I'm also busy with my college schedule. So I believe like the offers, they require someone full time and they don't want someone part time. So I had to realize that. But I believe that I should control, I should not worry about things that I can't control. I should handle on the things that I can actually control. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm networking, building my personal brand, also helping people any way that I can, just to be in the sales space, not to be out of it completely. So that's what I'm doing right now. Just basically focusing on what I can control. Then when I'm ready, I know that I have people where I can fall back to.
What it takes for you to be ready?
For me, what takes to me for me right now, I'm looking for either a setter role or a closer role, because everyone tells me like I have the confidence of a closer. And yes, I also want to like know like all the steps, the sales process from the setter and the closer role. But for me right now, what it takes for me to be ready is to increase my role plays. I've been doing a couple of role plays, but I haven't increased on that. So that's what I need to work on for now. That's what I need to work on alongside my networking and building my personal brand for me to be ready.
Look, for anyone that wants to improve their closing game, for anyone, I've uploaded like 6 sales calls of mine, and they're all very different sales calls. I would just study my sales calls to begin with. Honestly, like if you're in a closing position, you want to become a closer, I would study them and really read between the lines on how I'm closing, what I'm saying, how do I start off the call, and you, because I think those were just random 6 calls that Ershad, who was on my other offer with me, that had them, and he just uploaded them. And I'm so glad that they were all uploaded. They were all closes as well, by the way, guys. But you can see on the calls, there was no sales resistance or sales pressure. Those were just casual conversations, meaningful conversations that I had with individuals, and I helped them come over the line. And if you guys just study you know, these sales calls, and it was something that I was saying on one of the trainings that I had with the VIPs earlier this week, is is how Imran really breaks down. You know, because for me, it's like he breaks it down even better than me. Because for me, it's so normal. Because I have a few, you know, philosophies. You know, when I'm speaking to people. One, I would speak to you just like I said to you girls earlier today. I'm going to speak to you like you're my siblings. I'm going to speak to you like you're my family. So I'm not gonna do anything that's going to be the opposite of what I do with my family. And so most of the times, if not through my body language, I'll even just say it directly. The advice I'm going to give you here today, Lily, is the same advice I would give my mom, is the same advice I would give my sister. So like it kind of like, you know, but you don't just say it, you say it and you mean it when you say it as well. And when you're asking them questions, I'm just genuinely interested in people. And you want to be genuinely interested, not just like, oh, like, hey, how you doing? Oh yeah, okay, where are you dialing in from? Okay, cool, great. And then you just like, you don't ask a question and then you just move on to the next one. Because then that's when you only get surface level answers. But then not only that, it's like they're just like, oh, just asking a question for the sake of asking a question. So you really want to connect with the individuals that you're speaking to, not just, oh, just a normal, you know, I'm just asking the question for the sake of asking the question. And then when you really believe in what you're selling, people need to see it in your behaviors. People need to see it within your voice and when you're talking about it. And that's when you're going to close them. That's when you're going to sell them on what it is you're selling. We also, Sarah, I want to hear from you. Sarah, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Sarah, and right now I'm just transitioning out of an offer that I've been on for the last couple of months due to business restructuring, so they don't need as many sales people right now. So I'm transitioning out of that. I have a couple more days left, and then I'm looking for another offer at the moment. So that was a closing offer that I was on, so I'm looking to either both closing or appointment setting, which I have experience in both. Yeah, so right now I'm also going to be, you know, working on, you know, networking with others, you know, going on these, you know, calls, networking calls, things like that, learning more, you know, improving myself and things like that. And just talking about like what you said about being hungry and stuff like that. I think, you know, I'm very hungry. As I said, I'm on this call, you know, learning more, you know, networking with you or with you ladies and guys. And so, yeah, so I'm, you know, that's where I'm at right now. But I think, you know, what's important, you know, with the hungry, you know, being hungry and stuff like that is to also look at your goal. And like, as I said, if your goal doesn't scare you, it's not big enough sort of thing. So that's, you know, that's what I, you know, something that I, you know, keep in mind and things like that when I'm going throughout my day and stuff like that.
I want everyone to think about this right now because I'm gonna do a task. Like I said, I'm gonna make sure you guys, all of you ladies are growing on this call, and you're gonna get some real live feedback, and we're gonna go through this task together. So we're gonna go to the next level. Now, I want all of you to think about who you are, what you know, your intro. Let's just talk about your intro. So I want you to wow me. Let's just say we're doing a group interview right now. I'm the interviewer, but I will be the interviewer, but I'm going to do I'll be part of it as well. I'll go first. So now you guys have got 60 seconds. I'm going to give you 60 seconds to introduce yourself and wow me and why you as a high ticket closer, like for whatever the company that we're hiring. Now, I want you to just think about what you're going to talk about. I'm just going to go off the cuff and I'll just introduce myself. Hey, my name's Jabran, and I have over 25 years of experience in sales. I've sold multiple products and niches across a variety of industries. I've been the #1 closer for the last 2 years for Rudy Mauer and Kevin David, closing hundreds of thousands of dollars every single month, as well as managing multi-million-dollar a month sales teams. I'm hardworking, I'm coachable, I'm hungry. I will go above and beyond the call of duty because what I do is not for me, it's for my family and my loved ones. That's just a bit about myself. Boom. And I did that off the cuff, guys. I didn't even know what I was going to say. But look, I've not only done this multiple times, what I want you to think about is you should be doing this quite regularly So this is just part of your DNA. As in, like, who are you, Jabran? Like, Jabran, it's a bit about yourself. I'm the most hardworking guy that you're ever gonna meet. I'll be the first one in, I'll be the last one out. Look at the way I'm saying this, guys. But I really believe it. I really believe it. I will outwork everybody in the room. I just will. When it comes to high ticket sales, now, okay, on a treadmill, maybe that's a different story. But in terms of sales, you best believe I will be and I will outwork everybody. If not everybody, I will do as much as I can. I will be the first one in, last one out. I am not afraid of hard work. I'll put in the hours. And if I was to tell them, now I still want everybody to be thinking about your 60-second pitch. So I'm giving you time. But I'm just giving you examples about myself. So let's just say someone asked me, as in, like, Jabran, why should we hire you? I'm like, why not? I have 25 years of experience in sales. I've sold multiple products and niches across numerous industries. Every single company I've worked at, every single company I've worked at, I've been the #1 sales guy. I don't reach my goals or, just look to break records. I look to shatter records. I like to do what, like, majority of the companies and teams I've worked at, I've always been the anomaly. And I've always been, like, you can see my results. And look, a matter of fact, I'll show you my results. So let's just say I'm doing let's just say I'm doing an outbound message. And this is why, look, ladies, if you lot are struggling to land a role, let's just say you're struggling to land a role or you want to land a role, it's so easy, man. It's so easy. So long as if you've worked on yourself. If you've worked on yourself, ask any of my family members. I got introduced into making money online and entrepreneurship in 2014. Well, December 29, 2014 was my first ever exposure into, like, online work. It was in network marketing, multi-level marketing, and direct sales. And I was like, oh my God. And it was the first time I ever saw people making 20 grand a month. I was like, oh my God, 20 grand. And bear in mind, that was when I had graduated from university, etc., and whatever, and I'm looking for graduate jobs. And my graduate jobs are like £18,000 a year. And I thought that was a lot because I wasn't even making like £800 in a month. And like, this was like, whoa, I can make 18 grand in a year. So I was like over the moon. And then when I saw this, I was like, what? There's me going for 18 grand a year. These guys are talking about making 20 grand a month. And that's where, like, the 20 grand poster and everything came from. I was like, oh my God, I need to know more of this. And I'm seeing people being happy and people doing this for their parents and that for their parents. And I was like, oh my, like, network marketing. Oh my God, I love network marketing and I love network marketing. And I was in network marketing for years, and I didn't quit. I had a few £1,000s every single month, for years in network marketing. But network marketing kind of quit on me. The company that I was involved in, they just shut doors literally a few months ago in Europe. But yeah, it was a great time. And that was when I got introduced into personal development. And that's where, like, a lot changed. So, when you see Jabran here today and you're like, okay, he's done all of this and he's done all of that, you best believe, if you really want to achieve things, you need to be able to sacrifice as well. I sacrificed a lot. I was a boxer. I boxed up to English, British, European level. I was meant to be turning professional. And I gave up everything. Thank
you so much, Jabran. Always a pleasure. I've got calls. I'm in a launch right now with my event, but I'm just so honored that I got to spend a few minutes with all of you. Thank you, ladies.
We were honored to have you, Fatima. Nice to have you. All the best. So guys, we'll work through the intros, and I want everyone to just think about what you're going to say, and just 60 seconds in just introducing yourself, because you will get this on your calls. So the first person I'd want to call out is Zainab. Zainab, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Hello everyone, my name is Zainab. Can you hear me? Oh, I don't know. Is it my network?
We can hear you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Right. So my name is Zainab, and I got introduced to sales in 2018. where I did telemarketing for the customer service company I worked for. I was doing like cold calling at that time. And I started off as a closer in 2019. I was part of Kevin Davis' team. I was doing outbound closing. I would qualify the leads and close them as well. I was selling his courses like Shopify, Amazon FBA, Facebook ads, and digital course secrets. Yeah. And as well, I am an experienced appointment setter. I did appointment setting for a search engine optimization specialist, and I'm looking for a role that will align with my personality, because due to my personality and my background as a high ticket closer as well as customer service rep, I have a zeal for helping people, and I'm a fast learner and coachable, and I stand out. The things that make me stand out is I'm a go-getter. I put 100% in my role. I hit the KPIs. Even if it is 700 dials or 700 messages, I do that all the time. And I am hungry for success. I am big for, yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Zainab. Very good. Very good. I was hoping you're going to say some characteristics about yourself as well, because that's really important. Because you and you did so very, very good. You know, that was good. You gave a good intro about yourself. And I know it's on the spot in front of everybody as well, but you got to get used to these. I told you that like we're all going to be growing on this call here today. So I want you to get on paper as well, as in like, okay, how can I quickly say who I am? And maybe look, some of the names that you've worked with, maybe those are the first few names that you want to say, because you want to get attention. Remember this, ladies. You know, when you're introducing yourself, you want to catch attention right away. Like right away. Now, and I do it in a number of ways where I can be like, hey, my name's Jared. I've got 25 years in sales. Oh, I've been the #1 closer for Kevin David and Rudy Mauer. I work with Ty Lopez, Ravi Abuvala, etc., etc., etc. straight away. So I've got their attention. I'm mentioning the names, and there's many more names that I've worked with, but I'm getting their attention. Then I'm explaining, okay, this is what I did, and that's what I done. And then you give some insights into who you are and why you're going to be so good. And that was really good what you did there, Zainab. It was also well done. Karen, why don't you introduce yourself to us, please?
Oh, hi. Can you hear me, guys?
We can hear you, don't worry.
Yeah, so yes, so my name is Karen. So primarily my background, I was from BPO, from business processing outsourcing, or I was primarily a customer service representative. So yeah, I am looking for opportunity right now for appointment setter, because coming from a customer service background, I know I have an excellent customer service skills and I enjoy working with people. So I am organized and efficient, and I have a proven track record of meeting and exceeding customer experience. And in my previous role, I was actually consistently recognized by my supervisor for my outstanding performance. So I am confident that I can provide the same level of quality service in the role. Yeah.
Awesome.
So
And you actually did a very good job, Karen, in convincing me that you'd be a good customer service. Well, you'll be a good appointment setter, because most appointment setters are actually really good customer service people as well. Like a good appointment setter is going to be someone that, like, if you are really good at customer service, you can do a good job, and just showing that, hey, you will put the work in. You are tenacious and you'll put the hours in. You'll do a good job. Like any person that has a good experience in appointment setting in customer service can land, you know, easily an appointment setting job. So well done for giving us that insight as well. Thank you, Karen. We have Lily. Lily, why don't you introduce yourself to us?
Let's go again. Well, my name is Lily. I'm from Serbia. I'm a past entrepreneur in a high ticket offer more than 2 years. I was a top setter on the high ticket Airbnb offer, and I did fitness, business coaching programs, cold calling, SaaS offers, and I worked on the cruise ships and the high-end spa and salon in Dubai. And my hands-on experience has equipped me with the skills to understand that it is very important to go above and beyond with our clients, you know, because they are just not our clients, they are golden ambassadors for our business. And I would like to say that I possess a flexible, adaptable, and entrepreneur mindset, and I'm willing to go for an extra mile when it's needed. And one more thing, I embrace feedback and criticism as a tool for growth. So this is for me.
Thank you.
In short words.
Perfect. One thing I wanted to add, and you were saying it as well, and I wanted everyone to listen to this as well, and it's something that I've all previously spoke about as well, is like, make sure you PEE, point, evidence, explanation. So when you make a point, make sure you're explaining or giving an insight into that. So like, you know, I was a top setter. You said you were a top setter. Maybe give us an insight into what, you know, what were your numbers or what were your behaviors, etc. Because now you're solidifying. It's not going to be a question in their mind, because anyone can call themselves, I was a top setter, I was a #1 closer or whatever. It's like when I said, oh, I was a #1 closer for Kevin David and Rudy Mauer, but then I also said I generated hundreds of thousands of dollars per month. I could have even gone a bit further and said, hey, I was selling a 4K and 9K offer where the most revenue I generated in a single month was over $300,000, where I made, you know, or the most commission I made in a single month in my whole remote closing experience was $57,000. On average, I had a close rate of 45% and as high as 87%. So, you know, it's just giving these little insights, but then look, I've made the point, I've explained the point, but then I'm also giving them the evidence. And this is what I used to do in my outreach. I used to make the point, so I used to get their attention right away. Hi, or like whoever I'd work for, if I'm just coming out of working for Kevin David, Kevin David's #1 closer with 25 years of experience in sales. And then bam, I'll make some points. And then guess what I'll also do? I'll attach leaderboards, I'll attach commission statements, and I'll attach call recordings. Guess what I've done there? I've made myself stand out from the crowd. I've made the points, given the evidence. I got the attention first, made the points, made the explanation, and gave them the evidence. Of course, they want to speak to me. Now, when they're speaking to me, they're going to give me respect, because I have shown and proven and given evidence on what I am and who I am and what I've done. Hajra, you have your hand up like a good girl, so we'll let you ask what question what you want to ask.
Okay, so I wanted to ask, like, well, how would you tell someone that doesn't have like all these accolades and experience, how would they structure their intro video?
Really good question. So here, look, and I was going to do this right after, but we'll do it right now. So let's just say I'm someone that doesn't have that much experience, that doesn't have no experience. So this is how I would introduce myself. Hi, my name is Jabran, and I'm the most hardworking person you'll ever meet. I'm someone that will go above and beyond the call of duty. Everything I do is not for myself, it's for my family. You guys just tell me what to do and I will do it. I will work 10 hours, 14 hours, 16 hours, you name it. You don't even need to pay me for the first month. I will come in and show you with my results what I can do. Compare that to, I don't know, I've got 25 years of experience. Did I even talk about? Did I even talk? And this is what I'm saying to you guys. You guys need to show this in your interviews. And that's just off the cuff, Hajra. I didn't even plan that. I was like, because look, I tried to put myself. You girls think that you are the only ones learning on this live call, but I'm learning as well. I'm putting myself on the spot. I'm like, okay, how would you introduce yourself? You know, with no experience. I'd probably even go further and say, okay, now I did that and I gave my qualities or I gave characteristics of what, because look, you know what you want to ask yourself and tell yourself when these people are asking you these questions, they're asking themselves as in like, okay, does this person embody the qualities that we're looking for? You may not, okay, think about a high ticket appointment setter, closer, or whatever. Go through the job description. This is what I used to do from a very young age. I used to look at jobs that I didn't have experience in. Guess what I would do? I'd start making notes on everything, what they were looking for, what, you know, the skills and everything. Not only would I memorize this, I would internalize this. I would jump onto Google or whatever and learn what it meant to be organized. Like, what does it mean to be organized? Making sure you're writing everything down, making sure you're keeping everything, you know, in an order, or you're being on time. Like, how are you punctual? Because from a very young age, I was taught by my dad, if you're on time, you're late. So you make sure you be before your time. So I'm giving them these little examples. I'm looking and how can I showcase, how can I show this person that I'm going to be the hardest worker in the room? Now, look, being hardworking and everything and all that's great. How do I show them that I'm smart? I've been studying. So look, I'm not going to talk about my experience. So I'll go a tad further. So now, like I mentioned about my characteristics, now I will tell them about who I've been studying. I have been studying the art of sales for the last X amount of years. Some of the mentors that I've been learning, growing, and developing from the way of workshops, seminars, YouTube videos, are the likes of Grant Cardone. Now, he's a big salesperson. He's a big sales trainer. So I'll mention Grant Cardone. I'll mention Tom Hopkins. I'll mention Brian Tracy. I'll mention Dale Carnegie. I'll mention Jeremy Minor, or whoever the sales trainers I'm working from, Jordan Belfort. Now, guess what I'm doing? Even though I don't have the experience, I'm showing that I have the knowledge and who I've been learning from. Like a lot of the times, you know, a lot of my students, they mention in the intro videos, yeah, we're in Jabran's the closest university and we're learning from him and everything. But I say to them, look, don't even mention me, because most people don't know me yet. They know the clients I've worked with, and I've only recently just started going public. But like, I would rather them mention in that intro video and take up that 10-15 second slot into maybe mention the names in the sales industry that are known worldwide. Hopefully in a year's time, everybody will know me. But right now, let's just focus on, you can say, okay, I've enrolled into a mentorship or coaching with the Closers University, with Jabran Khan, who's worked with the likes of Kevin David, Rudy Maurer, Ravi Abavala, Matt Lepre, Ty Lopez, etc., etc., etc. These are big names. But what I want you to get their attention from are the sales trainers that you've been learning from. But don't only just mention these sales trainers, really know and be like, look, I came across Grant Cardone 10 years ago. And one of the first things I learned from him was 10xing everything, my effort, my goals, and everything. So guess what you're showing them now? That you're going to be the hardest 10xer in the room. Did I even talk about any of my sales experience? I know if I just applied to any role without my name, without my 25 years of experience in sales, and I just said, hey, look, I'm a university graduate. You know, I've been studying sales for the last 10 years or whatever years. I'm someone that's this, that, and I can do that for your company. I'm willing to go above and beyond the call of duty, and I'll get started right away. I will tell them I will do all the unsociable hours your staff are not doing. I'll do all the late evenings and all the weekends that all your staff are not doing. Guess what? That's going to be, because most people don't work late evenings and weekends. Most people don't. Why don't you be part of that group and be like, you know what? I will work those hours. Guess what? That's showing the business owner. This person's not, like, they're not the same as others. They really want it. So now you're not only saying, oh, I'm hungry, you're showing them I'm starving and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Does that make sense? Hajra, did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much. And I'm willing to implement that.
Good, good. Watch this on repeat as well. Zainab, you have your hand up like a good girl as well. Let's have your question.
Yeah. Because I have a gap from Kevin Deville to now. through the interview, I get disqualified. I don't know what's wrong. I tell them that, and I had rough year, like 2022 was totally rough. I hear nothing from them. Maybe, I don't know what's wrong. I think maybe that's the gap. I have no idea. I really wanted to ask this for a very long time. And maybe that's the reason why I get disqualified after like providing evidence that I work this, but I have no idea what's wrong. Yeah.
So you say that you have this long gap from when you were working up until now, and sometimes they disqualify you because of that. Let me tell you, was that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So look, ladies, you're either closing or you're being closed. You're either closing them on whatever it is you're selling. Like, look, I'll give you an example. My daughter Nur Fatma, she stayed at her grandma's last night, and she was meant to come home with us. And she told her auntie, she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna sleep with you and uncle today. I'm gonna sleep with you and uncle today." And she was like, "No, I am gonna sleep with you." No, like, and I'm trying to tell her, "Nur, you're gonna come home with us." She's like, "No, I'm not. I'm gonna sleep with uncle and auntie." And like with me, you know, when my daughter does this with me, I'm like, I kind of subtly do it. I don't like, you know, be like, "No, you're not staying," because she's a closer. She's my daughter. She's like, and trust me, oh my God, your kids are gonna be duplicates of you. It's crazy. So she's telling me, "No, I'm gonna stay here," and I was like, "All right, okay, cool." And I told her mom as well. I was like, "She's not staying here." She's like, "Yes, she is." My wife closed me on her staying there, my daughter staying at my in-laws. So, anyways, she's there right now. She was there right now. Literally 15 minutes before we went live, my brother-in-law calls me and he's like, "Oh, Noor wants to come home." I was like, "Really?" I was like, "No, just yeah, that's fine. But I'm gonna be on a live, so you'll have to send her to my mom because I live next door to my mom." And he was like, I'll speak to her, and like if she I'll see what she's saying." So guess what she did? She closed them on taking her home. She's like, "Oh, I'm bored here. I want to go home." She's only 3 years old. Kids are the best closers. Like when they want sweets, when they want candy. Like, you know what my daughter says to me? Now, like I've got it, like, because you gotta make them understand. Hadra, just after this, you can put your hand up because my mind's gonna go off. So you can put your hand down and then you can ask your question. So my daughter, because she knows, it'll be crazy if she just walks in now, but like she knows whenever I'm on the phone or whatever I'm calling, she won't come in. She can hear. She's only 3, by the way. But she also knows that when daddy's in here, daddy is working hard to make money to take her on holidays. Oh my God, the amount of holidays, alhamdulillah, like my daughter has been on, but now she just loves. Like she knows, "Daddy, you need to go work. You need to go to work so we and mommy can go on holiday." Like she just knows. And that now she tells me, she's like, "Make sure you go to work, make some money, and go so we can go on holiday." And like with her, like she closes me on so many things. And that's what, you know, like one thing I was trying to say to you guys as well, like closing. We're closing every single day. We're closing all the time. Everyone around us is closing us, or either we're closing them or we're being closed. So when you're on these interviews, are you really going to let them close you on not being the person that they need? How are you not gonna? Because look, how you do anything is how you do everything. I couldn't care if they said to me, "You got a 5-year gap." So what? So what if you like? What have you been doing in the last 5 years? Well, let me tell you what I've been doing in the last 5 years. I've been building an orphanage. I've been retiring my dad. I've been learning this and I've been learning that. But this doesn't take anything away from me being a hardcore closer, a seasoned sales professional. I've been closing from day one. Even in everything else I was doing, I was still closing. Because closing, we're all closing. I didn't even tell them, like, "Look, all right, now I'm attempting to close you on why I would be the best fit in your company." Man, if you throw them with this, because let me tell you, most people that interview, they're not even good closers anyway. So if you're going to have them close you on why they shouldn't hire you, guess what? you need to go back to the drawing board. You need to go watch more of Jabran's trainings. You really knew. But then also you need to take a step back and tell yourself that, you know what? Do I have what it takes? Do I have what it takes? And sometimes, guys, it's mentally we just don't believe it. We're hearing the voices that are being said to us, and we're just accepting them. Look, and it's something that I learned, as an 18-year-old, 17 or 16-year-old, about my first time in sociology. It was self-fulfilling prophecy. Accepting your labels, being told that you can't do something, and you just accepting it. Like, you know what, this is just who I am. Oh, he's never. And why I resonated with this so much, because there was another thing. It was self-fulfilling prophecy, accepting the labels that were labeled to you and thrown to you and spoken to you. And then there was self-negating prophecy, rejecting the labels that were thrown at you and labeled at you. And me growing up, this is where the rebel in me came out. Growing up, I was the class joker in all my lessons. I just loved making people laugh. I just loved it. I got a buzz out of it because I was dyslexic. I had ADHD. There were so many things, but this is back in the 90s. Nobody even cared about any of this anyway. They never even looked at any of this. And people I only discovered all of this after university. So I struggled throughout the whole education system. No one identifying this. They're saying, oh, he's just crazy. Oh, he just messes around. Oh, he just wants to be a class joker. Because I couldn't stay still in one place. I had to go out and do things, or I had to distract people, or, I was never rude, but I loved making people laugh. So half the time I used to get kicked out of the class as well. And they used to look at that as in oh, he's just messing around. He's not serious about education. But when they started saying to me that he's going to fail, he is failing. He's not going to pass. And the big issue was when we were in the UK, when you're 16, you do your final exams. And that's when you're 16, they're called the GCSEs. And those are a representation if the whole time that you were at school for the last 16 years, whether you're a failure or you're a success. Those exams determine whether you're a failure or a success. Now they're telling me that I'm going to fail my GCSEs. I remember this really clearly. There's only 3 months left for the final exams. We're in the parents' evening and everything. All the teachers, this is true story, guys. Imagine parents' evening, and you're coming there with your parents. No, I'm with my dad. And one by one, he's going to all my teachers. And they're all saying, he thinks he's the class joker. He's failing. He's not going to pass. I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, it's been about 5 years since I've got a good beating from my dad. This is obviously in the 90s, so beatings were just common. I got plenty of spanks on the, the behind. I was like, oh my God, dad hasn't smacked me for a few years. Today, I think I'm going to get it. So I just need to be prepared when he goes to throw something at me. I just need to be prepared to dodge it. But I remember coming out the parents' evening and my dad asking me and saying what the hell? What is all of this? And me thinking to myself, oh my God, I need to think of something. Otherwise, I'm just going to get, I don't know what I'm going to get, because it'd been a few years since I've got a good ass whipping. And I was like, oh my God, I need to think of something quick. And I was like, Dad, they're all lying. All of the teachers, they're all lying. Of course I'm studying. And he was like, and he knew I was lying. Every teacher told him that, look, he's messing around and everything. And all my reports suggested everything the opposite. But it was at that moment I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to prove all of them wrong. I'm going to prove all of them wrong. Now, I don't know, you girls, you may have some labels attached to you lot. Or oh, you're just a housewife. Oh, you're just this. Or you're just this. And you're English is not even your first language. And yada, yada, yada. I don't know. You don't have this experience and you don't have that. I don't know what labels have been attached to you. But you can reject them. You can reject them. I was only given one pass out of all my exams. I think it was 14 of them. Only one teacher said that he's just going to borderline pass. And I swear, those 3 months that were left for the exams, that's why I say anything is possible. I swear to God, I went from the guy that was sitting at the back of the class to the front of the class. I bought all the stationery. I got all the revision guides, everything. I emptied out my money box. I bought revision guides and books for all of my subjects. I was the first one in school and I was the last one out going with the caretakers every single day. The moment I finished from there, I'd go to the library in town and I'd do another 3 hours in the library in town because I couldn't work at home because it was distractions. And I just studied every single day until my exams. And I got around, and I not only did this, I got around all the nerds and the geeks in the school, the ones that were much clever than me. When I call them nerds and geeks, they were the much brighter kids in my class. And I just went and sat next to them and I just befriended them and I'd hang around with, I changed all my friends as well, because they say birds of a feather flock together. If you hang around 5 broke people, guess who's going to be the 6th? If you hang around 5 thick people, guess who's going to be the 6th thick person? So I was like, I need to get around clever people. And I knew about this association and everything. And then look, fast forward 3 months later, I didn't fail one exam. My head teachers, the head of years and everyone, they genuinely thought I forged the results. I did something with, and I changed the results and whatever. I remember my head of year calling the exam boards and confirming my results, because one of the maths papers, I got full marks. I got 238 out of 238, and I was the naughtiest in her class. But I flipped the script with everything. I know it's a long story and a long explanation, but I'm trying to tell you guys, like, you know, for you to internalize this with yourself. People are going to label you with all sorts, but are you going to accept it? And I'm that someone. Tell me I can't, and I'm going to prove to you I can. You just tell me I can't. I will do everything it takes within me to prove you wrong. And that's why you need to protect. So look, you need to know what you stand, because look, you need to stand for something as well. You need to stand for something. And if you believe who you are, you tell them who you are. If they say to you, oh, you've had this many, like right now, I haven't closed since maybe last year, mid last year was when I went, or I spent like 5 months of last year, I just spent in Pakistan. And I went to Turkey, and I went to Greece, Egypt a couple of times, etc. And I went to the Gambia, etc., whatever. The whole of last year, pretty much the whole of last year, like 9 months of all last year, I was just traveling. Like even now, I'm not on a closing role right now because I've been coaching. Yeah, you really think if I go into a role right now and they say to me, oh, you haven't been closing for the last 9 months or year and a half, and that's going to faze me? No way. No, I'm not even going to let them. I'm not even going to let them have that as anything to say, because I know I've worked on myself and I'm going to showcase to them who I am and what I'm about. Because remember, there is even if they do drop it onto you, oh, like, you haven't done this before. Let me tell you, I've been closing all my life. Like, let's just say you want to become a closer. You want to become a closer, and they're like, oh, you don't have closing experience. Well, what do you mean by closing experience? Well, like, what do you say? What do you mean when you say closing experience? Now it's time for you to educate them. Let me tell you, Sarah, I've been closing since I came out my mom's womb. Since I was a kid. I was closing them on all the food that I wanted to eat, the toys that I wanted. Every single weekend, I was known as maybe the spoiled one, because every weekend I would close my parents to take me out of my 7 other siblings with me, take me with them to shopping every single weekend. I would close them on taking me out of all my siblings every weekend and me getting something every single weekend. Tell you, I've been selling and closing people since I was 11. I was selling sweets, chocolates, crisps, you name it, since the age of 11. Then I started selling electronics. I'll give them an example of my job or whatever job. And even if I was a teacher, like let's just say, because I've got 12 years in education, where I was a learning mentor, a behavior manager, and a teacher. I was closing kids. I would work with kids that were the disruptive kids in class. But with me, it was just crazy. With me, they loved me that much. Not only did they get the most work done in my class, and we had fun whilst doing so as well. I was their favorite supply teacher or the substitute teacher, whatever you want to call it. but I close them kids into learning to respect me and listen to me and get work done, as opposed to all the other lessons that they'd go to. So I'm giving them all of these examples. Or I'll give them, like, look, right now I'm fundraising for an orphanage. Honest to God, if you want to really develop your sales skills, go and do fundraising. Watch the thick skin that you develop when you message people and they air you. They just blank your message or whatever. But I'm like very creative now. Like I engage in conversation. Like, and there's so many ways that you can learn how to do this as well. But anyways, but fundraising really builds your character. Now, look, I felt bad about this as well. Last night I was on a call, but there was not last night, yesterday. I was on a live call, but then my door kept knocking, and I could see there's someone in a high vis jacket. And I went to go open it, and it was two kids fundraising. And I felt so bad about it as well, but I couldn't because I was on a call and I never had no cash on me right now anyway. My wife always takes it anyway, but she was out the house as well. So like I said, look, no, sorry, I can't. And I closed the door. But I was like, oh my God, like, and I wanted to give, but I was busy. And then I came back and I was like, man, they must be feeling. Then I was like, no, it's going to build their character because they're going to get their doors closed on them a few times. But oh my God, and they were just two young kids. But this is what I'm telling you guys as well. You can use all of these examples in showing them why you are the chosen one and why you are much better than whoever they're interviewing. But that was a bit of a long-winded answer, Zainab. Hopefully everybody got some heat from that. Sarah, why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, so wow, so my name is Sarah, and I've been closing for the last I would say 4 years now. So when I started in the high ticket sales, I was in tech sales, and I was the #1 closer in my cohort for that internship. And then from there, that sparked my interest to learn more about high ticket sales. And from there, I started to go through some training. I went through training with Jeremy Miner and NNPQ. From there, I got in the space of networking with other people in the sales space, learning more from them, watching YouTube videos. And from there, I landed a great closing opportunity, which I've had two, but I didn't stay long in that one. And then now the one that I'm currently transitioning out of, which I've been in the last 8 months. And from there, my goal is to really, get into a position where there's a lot of support, coaching, somewhere where I can shine and really prove to myself, that I have, what it takes to become, for it to become a win-win situation for both of us involved. And yeah, so I hope to hear more about what your role entails, how I can, benefit from it.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. Very good insight into who you are. I love that you said that you did tech sales and you were the #1 person there as well, out of your whole cohort and everything. I would just refine a bit of it as well. There's some things that you just don't even need to say as well or whatever. And just be like, for the last, I would have even just said, for the last 8 months, I've been working at this company and now I'm just looking for a new home. Boom. Done.
Right. Yeah.
Try to focus more, just be more concise. And then also, you never gave me an insight into like who Sarah is and why Sarah is going to be the hardest worker in the room and yada yada. But maybe you need to embody that. Maybe you need to make that part of your DNA and ask yourself, like, can I do 12 hours a day? Or what am I like? Ask yourself this. Honestly, everybody should take a step back and ask themselves, as in, why do I do what I do? Why am I doing what I'm doing? And make a list of it. And then be like, okay, what am I prepared to achieve that? Why do I want to do what I want to do? And what am I prepared to do that? The hours that I'm willing to work, the roles that I'm willing to do, what I'm willing to do, and what's not even a non-negotiable. So you're just showing them that, hey, I'm the person you're looking for. I'm not going to be the one that's making the excuses. I'm not going to be the one that's going to be only doing a few hours or part-time or whatever. I'll do whatever it takes. And maybe share your reason why, if you have a big reason why. As in, actually, I'll ask you, Sarah, like, tell me, what's your reason why? Do you have a reason why?
Yes. So my reason why is, I want to have a better life for myself and my family. Those are my whys. I could get up and, the reason that gets me up in the morning. I have very, strong goals that I want to achieve. And, I have, yeah, that's it.
Get specific. I'm going to help you now. We're going to get some direct coaching. We're going to get some free coaching right now. Because look, you know the reason why most people don't achieve their goals is because they're not clear, concise enough, and they don't write them down as well. Look at, and honestly, take a leaf out of my book. I don't know how much you know about me, how much you followed my journey and everything, but me, you know how you said you want to help your family? Why don't we get really specific? Who's in your family that you would really want to help? Who's the first person in your family that you would really want to help? Who is that person?
My mother.
Your mom. What do you want to do for your mom?
I want to be able to help her to retire early. Retire right now. She should have been retired, by now, but things happen. So yes.
So let's walk with me. That's fine as well. A bit similar to mine. I wanted to retire my dad. Now what you want to do is you want to get really specific and you want to make it so you've now got a plan and it's all realistic in front of you as well. So I want to retire mom. So one of your posters in your room should be your why, retire mom. Honestly, a lot of you watching this on the live stream, and I'm gonna watch this later as well. A lot of my methods, most of you won't understand. But I promise you, if just follow it, it's like, and I say this to everyone when they come on my when I'm working one-on-one with people and my first kickoff meetings that I do with them, I tell them and I ask them, like, have you ever watched Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi in Karate Kid, how Daniel doesn't really understand his methods and his teachings, etc. and whatever, and like he just carries on doing it, the wax on, the wax off, the picking the jacket up, putting it down, the brushing here, the brushing there, and then later on he finds out all this cleaning and everything that he was doing was Mr. Miyagi teaching him all the moves in karate and everything. And it's a bit like with my methods, most people don't understand them, but that's why most people don't achieve the goals and the things that I set out to do as well, and that's fine as well. This is why I say pick your mentors wisely. I genuinely believe if people followed my lead, just followed it to the T. If people followed it to the T, I know in 90 days they can be a completely different person. And that's why I work one-on-one with people. And that's what I'm going to do with you right now. So look, Sarah, your mom, what does your mom do? What does she work as? Let's do this quickly. So I want to make it as realistic as possible. What does mom do?
She works in housekeeping.
Housekeeping. Is it okay if I be real with you and open with you and direct?
Yes.
You're not going to hate me, are you?
No.
Okay, because I'm going to speak to you like I'm speaking to my sister. How old are you, Sarah?
Sorry?
How old are you?
How old am I? I'm 34.
34. So I'm your elder brother. I'm 36, so I can't tell you off. Okay, cool. So look, Sarah, your mom does housekeeping. How long have you been? How long does your mom? Okay, does your mom love what she does?
Yes.
She loves. So okay, would your mom? Okay, this is a good question because follow me on this now. I want you to ask your mom, hey mom, because look, parents always tell us, I love my job and I love this and I love that. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay, mom, dad, what if your job stopped paying you from tomorrow? Ask her. Or what do you think she would say? Mom, if your job stopped paying you from tomorrow, the job that you said you love, would you still go to work?
I believe she would, yeah.
Every single day?
Yes.
Why do you think that?
I think that because she's had, so much experience in it, she goes from even she's in the same role, but she'll go to different companies. And a lot of it has to do with the people around that she works with. So she surrounds herself with good people.
She would work for free.
I believe she would work for free, yes.
I'd want you to test her to it as well and be like, Mom, if they stop paying you right now, would you still go to work for free?
I will do that. I will do that.
Ask her, how long would you carry on going for work? Because then, Mom, they're not paying you. How are you going to pay the bills? And then you'll see the answers that she gives you. And then just say to her, say, Mom, what if you were to get, I don't know, like how much does your mom earn, I don't know, a month after taxes and everything?
I would say about after taxes, oh geez, I would say about less than like 2 to 3 thousand.
Okay, let's just say 3K. Okay, 3K. 3K over a whole year is about 36 grand, right? Is my maths right? 36, yeah, it's 36K. 36K. So, okay, for half the year, it's like 18 grand. So you can, now you say to her, say, Mom, what if, okay, so you don't have to go to work and whatever. So now you know as well. Now, okay, let's leave mom aside now. Now you know, Sarah, you know mom is earning 3 grand a month after taxes. You know that's a figure, 3 grand. So if you were to make 10 grand a month or 20 grand a month, that 1 month can be given to your mom and be like, hey, mom, you know what? For the next 6 months, oh, here's 6 months of salary, wages, or whatever. Here you go. Do what you want. If you want to go work, you can go work. A matter of fact, before the other 6 months, and by the time this runs out, I'll give you another 6 months.
Yeah.
I want you to picture doing this. I genuinely want, I genuinely want you to picture doing this. And oh my God, the amount of times I did, and I was able to do this as well with my siblings, my parents, and everyone. I want you to. So I want you to ask yourself, okay, I want you to picture doing this now. And now it's going to become more realistic to you. And then also, you want to go a step more further as well. Find out, okay, how much does mom need to maybe just make ends meet every single month, like, for the bills. Or maybe you can start off by be like, you know what, mom, I'm going to retire you. So you look at all your mom's outgoings and what she has to pay for, and you work it off one by one, whether it's the energy bill, whether it's the phone bill, the TV bill, or the groceries, or this, or the insurance for this, that. Now you start breaking down, okay, this is how much I need to earn. These are the bills I can one by one start ticking off. And that's what I did. And I also want you to just picture, I don't know, just the $20,000. You walking up to your mom and be like, hey, you know what, mom? Here's $20,000. Like, here's a purse. You buy your mom like a really fancy purse. And I want you to picture it. And trust me, this is where it becomes more real. You buy her favorite purse. You wrap it all up, and in there you put $20,000, and then you gift her the purse. And she's like, oh my God, it's such a great, like, you bought this purse for me or what? She's all over the moon and everything. And she hasn't even bothered looking inside. She's just so like, oh my God, thank you so much, Sarah. And then a few moments later, she opens it and she's like, what the heck? Where's all this money? And I want you to picture doing this. Look, You're already smiling and doing it. And like, just imagine actually doing this. And now setting the goal of retiring mom. Guess what you've done now? Not only have you, because at first you said, I want to help my family. But like now we've got even more specific. It's just with mom. Maybe there's others as well. Like for me, it was retiring my mom and then, doing something for my elder sister. I had specific. I ran through it in my head so many times. I used to cry myself to sleep. The goals that I wanted to do, the things that I wanted to do. Every single day, I'd like cry myself, I'm going to retire that. I had posters in my room, outside my bedroom and everything. I'd look at them every single day. And then the more you look at these posters and then you've crafted, the more you really believe that I can do it. And then before you know it, bam. Now everything you do, you're not going to waste time on Netflix. You're not going to waste time in chilling out with friends. I can't chill out with friends. My mom's working in a job. But you're saying that she loves and she wants to stay in or whatever.
I think she loves it. Maybe I could be wrong.
No. Don't think. If I was to put your life on it right now, let's see. We could even do it, but we won't do it. If imagine you were asked this question and your life depended on it, would you put all of your life on that your mom will go to work for a whole year for free?
No, not on
there you
a
go.
whole year.
Well, there you go.
No, not
your mom doesn't love her job that much then.
No.
But you're crazy.
Maybe when she was younger she did, but not. I know now she's like, I'm done.
With some people, when they say they love their job, because I was in teaching, in education, and what I was earning there, I was earning a fifth of what I could have been earning in corporate sales. but I decided to do sales as a side hustle and made my full-time job because education, I loved it. That's why, like, some people can't comprehend. You know, a lot of sales coaches, they can't comprehend that, you know, the things that I do and the content that I put on YouTube and like these live calls that I do for free that people charge thousands for. Because this part of my DNA, like even like like just as people couldn't comprehend, Jabran, you could be earning X amount, you could be earning 5 times the amount that you're earning, but yet you spent 12 years in education earning peanuts because I loved doing what I was doing. For me, it was like I was investing in my hereafter. I was investing in like the future. I was helping people. And that's why I do this. Like, look, this is a Sunday afternoon. Sunday is my chill day. And I'm here.
So how did you make the transition, like loving education and then, you know, coming into the high ticket sales? I know you said you also have 25 years of sales, you know, experience, but what was it that you told yourself that, okay, coming from this prestigious job to coming into this industry, what did you tell yourself?
Not even what I told. I didn't tell myself. I was just forced. So this is what happened. So my mom was constantly on my case. So before I made the transition into high ticket sales, like fully commission based, I went into contracting. Contracting was like working, not like on a permanent job, a salary or whatever. They'd pay me for the days that I'd work, but I can choose my days as well. So I slowly transitioned into like fully commission based or whatever. But in order to fully transition to commission based, I left the full-time salary and I went into contracting. So I was doing contracts in different schools for 6 months, 6 weeks, 1 year, 2 years, whatever. So like for a few years before I made that transition to high ticket sales. And there was this one school that I worked at. Oh my God. I worked there. I loved working there and I was the head of year there. So I was looking after the whole year group. And the senior leadership made me apply for the permanent role, which I didn't want to do. And my mom was pushing me to become permanent there. My mom was like, and you know, you have to listen to your moms, otherwise moms are always right as well. I was like, Mom, I don't want to do full time. Like because I wanted to be a free bird because I tasted entrepreneurship and I just didn't like being told what to do. And if any teacher or head teacher or principal told me anything that I didn't like, I'll like, see you later. I'm just going to a different school. I was just because I had become an entrepreneur. But obviously I still had to make money because as an entrepreneur, I wasn't making that much money. So I still had to work. So anyways, this particular school, they made me apply for the permanent, like the role that I was in. So check this out. The very role I was doing, they made me apply for that role that I was already doing, and they were very happy with me. The results that I had were phenomenal with the kids. And I had a very naughty year group. They were very naughty, but I was very strict with them, but I was also that little friend with them as well. So they all listened to me. And so now the head teacher wants me to apply for the permanent role and everything. And I have a meeting with the senior leadership team. The senior leadership, she was doing my interview. And I didn't know she was new on the role. And look, I'm very ambitious. And sometimes this can really, you know, be thrown back in your face. And it could bite you back as well. Like, and now I'm speaking to someone who's in the position. She asked me, oh, so Jabran, where do you want to be in 5 years' time? And I mentioned a role. I'm like, I want to be in this position. And that was just below the principal. It was like the principal's assistant or whatever in behavior management. Little did I know, I'm talking about her own role. So I'm talking about I'm going to be in her role. I didn't know this, but I'm just ambitious. And of course, I'm not going to say I'm going to be in the same place. Of course, I'm going to be there. And then like I can see her eyes like, and bearing in mind, if you look on paper, I'm very experienced also working with kids that with challenging behaviors. And I had leadership qualifications. I had psychology degrees. I had a criminology degree. I'd worked with youth I've been working with the youth since the age of 14. And I was a boxing coach. So I had a lot about me, more than what she had. I just wasn't a qualified teacher. She was. But on paper, I would knock her out the park. She got nervous. Guess what she did? She didn't give me the job. She did not give me the job. Everybody in school was like, what? Jabran didn't get the job. And all the teachers loved me as well because I took pride in my work and I made sure the kids were good and everything. But anyways, I did that job. And then obviously I got let go. Then I went to a few others. And guess what? The person that they hired for that job, so this is like true story. The person they hired for that job, she didn't even last a few weeks. because my peer group was strong. Guess what they did? They called Jabran again. Guess what happened? Jabran, like a dodo, goes back because I used to do it for the kids. I love the kids, and some of the kids I used to see in the area, and they were like, "Sir, man, you need to come back." And I'm like, "Look, they didn't hire me, so what can I do?" But then they called me, and I was like, "All right, you know what? I'll go back. It is what it is. I went back because I don't care. Like I don't care what people think or whatever. Like I do it for the kids. So for me, I was going back for the kids. So guess what? Long story short, I go there. They make me apply for the position again. Guess who's interviewing me again? The same lady. She still doesn't give me the job. For whatever reason, they get someone else a job. That person doesn't even last 2 months. And me, like a bloody, I don't know what. I don't even think, I think I lost my sense of pride or whatever. I came back to the school again the third time. But because I love the kids. Like I knew the kids as well. And at this point now, I'm like, oh my God. But then I'm like, okay, whatever. But now when the interview, so now they want me to apply again for the third time. I swear to God, the same role, third time they made me apply. They made me apply the third time. As I'm gone there now and I'm interviewing, it's with another person now as well. And they made whatever excuses as well. Guess what? Third time, they didn't give me the job. I was like, screw this. I am never coming back to this school again. And I was borderline annoyed with the school education system because I was overqualified for the role and I was doing the job as well. And they never gave me, and I was like, I'm never coming back to this school again. Even the head teacher was confused as in like, why are they not hiring him? But I don't know. But maybe he didn't want to hire me as well. I do not know. And then at that point, and now I'm just like, I'm never going to work in education again. But then again, you got to listen to your moms. My mom made me apply for a role again in a different school as a permanent. I hadn't got involved into high ticket sales at this point. This is just before COVID. So I applied to this school now, and I applied for a role that's like 3 grades below what I was. I was 3 grades below what I was, and I applied. And I remember coming in a group interview and everything, and like they asked me questions, and they didn't even let me go past the first stage. They told me to go home. I was like, "Are you serious?" And like it like hit my confidence. Well, not my confidence. It really made me question. I was like, "What?" But then I was like, you know what? God's trying to teach me something here. God's trying to show me that, you know what, you're destined for something else. Because I talk to God quite a lot, and I like, you know, I have this relationship with you know, Allah, and I any like trial, tribulation, when setbacks and everything or whatever, I always look like, what's God trying to teach me here? Like whenever something bad happens, I'm like, what is God trying to teach me here? And so I just, you know what, took a step back and I was like, that's it, I'm done with education. I'm not going into education. And that's when I started just like researching online. I started researching online. I come across high ticket sales, and I was like, hey, you know what, let me just check this out. And that's how I transitioned away from education and like full-time into high ticket sales. And like within like my first few weeks or whatever, you know, in high ticket sales, I made money, and then from there it just led on one thing to another. I don't know if that answered your question, Mina, but if you want to ask any follow-up, feel free.
I mean, it was great. I feel like I don't know if it answered it fully, but it was great. It was great. So thanks for sharing.
It didn't answer your question fully. What did you want to ask?
Well, what I was saying was that I get it. Like, I get you love education, and you did that, you know, for X amount of time. And then saying, okay, like, you know, you said, like, I want to know in simple like terms how you described yourself from being in education to becoming a, you know, high ticket, like, you know, salesperson or whatever you say, like
side by side, as well as I was in education. Education I did for my passion, and in sales I always did on the side, you know, to make my money, because I'm a sales pro. I love making money, and I've always been in sales. That's it, done.
Okay.
And that's what you could do as well. Like, yeah, I was in, like, I don't know if you're in education or anyone's in education. Like,
yeah, I am. That's why I'm asking.
Well, there you go. So you could be like, yeah, I'm in education, but hey, don't get me wrong and don't get it twisted. I'm a seasoned sales professional. I am a closer. I have been closing all my life. Matter of fact, I close my kids every single day.
Yeah, that's what I said in my interview. I was like, I close kids left and right all day, every day. So
I'm gonna close you. I was about to call you bro then, and I'd say to the interviewer, I'm gonna close you on why you should hire me.
Yeah,
I'm the greatest
absolutely.
closer that you're gonna speak to all day.
Yeah. No,
And then
I did. Thank goodness.
anybody else have any questions? Well, we'll be going for nearly 2 hours. We've got people
Yeah.
in the live. Oh my God. There's people asking, can we join? Can we still add on to the call? Oh, I'm sorry. No, you can't. This was just a follow-up live call that we did with some of the ladies. Maybe we'll do one public one, and we'll post it on the YouTube, well, on the Facebook group, and we can get other people to join. But this was just for some of the ladies that we had on the last call. But I know I didn't give you guys enough notice so everyone can come on as well. But hey ho, you guys came on. Does anyone need any specific? So, okay, Sarah, I told you like what you have to do on the sales calls and share your reason why. See, I'm on a mission to retire my mom. So now it's not about me, it's about my mom. So I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Make sure you give them an insight into who Sarah is, not just Sarah's experience, but who is Sarah? Like, what Sarah's about? What's Sarah's story? Or why does Sarah want to earn this much money? Like, I want to make. Maybe sometimes you say to companies, rather than saying to them, yeah, I want to make 20 grand a month, I want to close hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. In me closing hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, I'll make X, Y, Z. So maybe that, those are some of the things that you can say. Karen, I would highly suggest and recommend you, just getting very clear and concise. Hi, my name is, look, everybody right now, if you have studied the role of a high-ticket appointment setter or a high-ticket closer, and you fully understand what the role is, guess what you need to do? You certified yourself. I'm a high-ticket closer. I'm a high-ticket appointment setter. You are. You're a high-ticket appointment setter. So, because look, you're an appointment setter. Now, Karen, how many years? So this is how I would introduce myself. Let's just say on paper. Karen, how many years of experience do you have in customer service and customer service roles, etc., and whatever, and sales or whatever? How many years of experience do you have?
Yeah, 4 years.
Oh. Okay, cool. So Karen, so I would be appointment setter with 4 years of direct experience in customer facing roles. And then I'll mention about the industries that I've worked in, maybe some of the results that I have, and then an insight into, who I am, what I'm willing to do, what I'm about. Bam. You just short, sweet, concise, briefly introduce yourself. And then you can give them evidence, etc., on whatever, on what you're doing as well. Mina, where are you at in your journey? Because where are you at? What are you doing right now?
I am on an offer right now. So, alhamdulillah, I think last time I met, I was like, oh, I'm interviewing and stuff. So yeah, alhamdulillah, I did land something. So definitely it was a referral as well as, I closed the business owner. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And I'm doing two things so I am actually I'm on a closer role as well as a setter role right now because he was like just changing some things on his offer and funnel. And so he said, for this side, I want you to continue closing. And for this side, can you do like appointment setting as well? And I was like, sure, why not? So, and yeah, it's part-time. It's in the evening and on the weekends. And I am that go-getter and action taker and very thirsty. So that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. And you're still doing your full-time job as well. Very good.
I am. So I didn't do my introduction. I could just do that right now.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So hi, my name is Minna and I have an education background. And last year I actually took a 7-month leadership training course where I leveled up in my leadership skills as well as communication skills, took multiple courses in communication. And some of my superpowers are communication and connectedness. I am an action taker and a result producer, and I highly resonate with your views and your passions, and I'm committed to growing your business. So let's hop on a call and see if we're a good fit.
Very nice. Good stuff.
So yeah, I'm doing my full-time teaching, and then in the evenings, basically, one of the questions he asked me in the beginning was, have you closed a high ticket deal yet? And I was like, I have not closed a high ticket deal yet, but I have been on interviews with business owners that wanted to hire me on their team immediately. And but due to my time restriction, I was not able to join their team. And he was like, "Oh, well, what's your time restriction?" And I was like, "I'm part-time. I got a full-time teaching position and it matters to me deeply. And I'm a very committed person. I'm not willing to, break my contract. And so I'm going to go till the end of the school year and I would love to transition smoothly. And so I'm available part-time." And he was like, "Well, I'll take you part-time."
And that's very good how you explain that as well. You only never just made a point that, oh, I'm full-time in education. You gave them an explanation and insight into you're very committed and you're going to see your contract through. What does that show the other person? That this is a committed person. They're not just going to be loyal. That was very good as well. Very good. We have Hajra. Hajra, did you want to say anything? I've seen you in the comments quite a bit, so I thought I'll let you say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, I wanted to add to what Zainab was like asking and just give us some pointers. And I think like many people in the space need to go on interview role plays, not just sales role plays. And she should also tell the interviewer like her skills and her knowledge are not lost just because she took a pause on that. So that's what I wanted to say at that time. And now I wanted to like give an intro like as if I was in an interview and trying to implement what you just taught in the Zoom call. So here we go. Okay, so hey. Okay, hello, my name is Hajara. I'm 20 years old. And the reason why I would love to transition into sales, even though I don't have any experience, in high school, I was the president and top speaker in the debate club. I have won multiple competitions for my school, and I was basically selling my opinion to the opposing team and to the judges as well in front of a crowd. So if I can be able to handle objection, show leadership skills, communication skills in front of the crowd, like on the spot, then I'll be able to do that and transfer my skills in your offer. And take a look at me compared to everyone else on this interview. You can see me, I'm all decked up in my suit. Compared to everyone else, I already looked the role. So if I can put 100% into what I'm doing right now just for the interview, imagine what I can transition into your offer. So I don't know about you, but I know that I'll be able to bring 100% to the offer, add value to the team, and also be able to generate revenue. And my first goal will be able to generate at least 100K revenue in my first 2 months. Thank you.
Very good. Very good, Hajra. So Hajra, what hours can you do? Let's just say if I was to ask you, okay, you're doing whatever you're doing. Let's just say you got a role right now. What hours could you do?
I can work 4 to 5 hours per day doing, I know the normal KPIs for setter role is 150 dials, but I would love to, if I'm to prove myself and do what nobody else is doing, I would love to start off doing at least 200 dials to get more reps in and to sharpen my axe faster.
45 hours. Okay, cool.
No, not 45, 4 to 5, yeah.
45 hours a week?
No, I thought you meant 45. So I said 4 to 5.
No, I know I said 4 to 5. Okay, 4 to 5 is probably my British accent. 4 to 5 hours a day. Now, okay, in the Eastern time zone, what hours would they be?
In the Eastern time zone, for me, I mean, like, it's West African time zone, similar to the UK time zone. So that will be from 9 a.m. EST to 6 p.m. EST.
No, that's 9 hours. What hours could you work? Let's just say UK time then. What hours could you work? What hours could you work per day?
Like afternoons and evenings. From
afternoons and evenings. Okay, cool. Get really specific and clear about this, Hajra, as well, because then you can easily land the role as well. Like, I don't see why, like, a lot of my closers have full-time roles and they do closing full-time as well. Like, they do 6-7 hours closing. Like, one of my guys, he's a project manager. He finishes work for 5 p.m., starts closing at 6 p.m. and works through to like midnight, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. as well. So you just need to be clear with this as well, Hajra. If you be clear with this and concise and actually tell them what you can do, you will be able to land. Like, honestly, a lot of people can land high ticket closing roles even in a full-time job. 100%. So Hajra, like, I like your hunger. I may even test you on an offer. You may even land an offer via me. Let's see. Let's see. We'll have a chat after this and we'll see what you can do, because I know of a Muslim organization that will be hiring maybe in a month or so's time. We'll see. I'll put you to the test and we'll see how hungry you are and what you could do. And it will be setting. But we'll talk about that later. Sarah, you tell me. Tell me, what about you? What could you do?
So what I can do is I can, I can, sorry, I'm blocked it. I can, be able to,
Talk about in
be,
terms of work, like time zones. Let's talk. I'll be more specific. Like what time zones or what times could you work?
okay. So in terms of time and time zones that I can work, I'm pretty much open to a full-time or a part-time position at this point.
You can work full-time and you can work part-time.
Yeah.
How many hours a day could you work?
I would say 8 hours.
8 hours.
At least.
Do you have any other commitments?
I have just a small commitment in the afternoon on some days. It's not every day of the week. Just up until this point where I just have to drive someone to a destination and come back. So I just
Like
need that.
2 hours? Is that like 1 hour,
Yeah,
2 hour block?
about 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine. You
Yeah.
don't even need to mention that as well. Like because look, you could easily, let's just say, start work at 9 a.m. Work till about the time that you're gonna have your 2 hour break. That's your 2 hour break, and then you can just work, maybe 2 hours later in the day as well. So you won't even probably need to mention that right now. Like I would mention what you can do as opposed to what you can't do. And look, Sarah, like, what's your income goal? How much money do you want to make a month?
At least 5K.
You want to make 5 grand a month?
At least. But
at least. Let's not
minimum.
talk about at least. And let's not make our minimums, because our minimums become our maximums. What amount of money, and you can be semi-realistic, even though I would talk about being unrealistic.
Right. Okay.
But how much money would you like to make per month? Okay, like what would happen? Okay, you said 5 grand. Let's just double it. Let's just double it for the sake of it, because you can. In high ticket sales, you can easily double it.
Right.
5 grand. What if you made 10 grand a month, Sarah? How would that make you feel?
It's amazing. I've done it before, and I
You've done it before. Oh, forget that then. How many times did you make 10 grand in a month?
So just once.
Once, okay.
And that was just recently. So I was proud of myself.
That's recently. Okay, congratulations. Well then, how did it make you feel?
Oh, it felt amazing, but I definitely worked hard to get in.
What did you do? What did you do to make 10 grand a month?
I spent hours and hours going through trainings, and videos of other people that are in my in my space, watching their videos, because they post them on the Slack channel. It's what helped them throughout the years, and I just went back through the old videos from 2 years ago and keep working away up. Oh, these are tips that could help you. Watch those videos, wrote down those tips, and then I spent hours and hours going through that, and then restructuring my process and what I was saying, and going through videos and watching my recordings and things like that.
So, and this is one thing that I really push on and get people to do, and exactly what you've done as well is, whenever you go into a company, success leaves clues. Success leaves clues. Definitely. So go and find the guys that are getting success. Go and study them. Go and study them and copy them. So what about the hours that you were doing? Okay, you studied them, you found out what they were saying, when they were saying, how they were saying it. Then the next thing, how many hours a day did you work?
I would say about 8 hours. 7 to 8.
7 to 8 hours a day. How many days a week?
5 days a week.
5 days a week. Imagine you worked 10 hours a day and you work 6 days a week. Would you could have probably even, I don't know, 15 grand a month or whatever. But you did that. I want you to take this same philosophy into the next role that you're gonna do, and that's what you're gonna, you're gonna do there. Then watch the results unfold. But then look, also right now, 10 grand, you've already hit it. I want you to turn that 10 grand into a 20 grand month ago, like 20 grand. Imagine hitting $20,000 in 1 month. Look how you're smiling already, like $20,000.
That would be amazing.
But I want you to picture it. Picture making 20 grand, like 20, like all those $100 bills stacked up in front of you, like 20,000. Like, you know what I would do? Like, oh my God. After I'd hit that kind of money, I would cash it out and just get the money in cash. And sometimes I just put it on the table. Obviously, now I don't do that or whatever, because whatever. But like, I would look at it and I would feel it. I'm like, oh my God, like, this is 10 grand. This is 20 grand. And it will make me like, it will bring it into reality. And I'll be like, whoa, like 20,000. And that's what I want you to do is visualize making 20 grand, but then also now work backwards. So, okay, I've made 20 grand. Now, what do I need to do? And what are the steps that I need to put in place in order to make that 20 grand? So you've already made it. And now you just work backwards. How many hours? How many days? What offers? Who did I study? What did I do? And before you know it, you'll make it. But it needs to be repeated in your mind over and over. This retiring mom goal needs to be on paper. You know, all the things that you want to do, have a vision board. It's all real. Maybe have it outside of your bedroom so you see it every single day. As you're coming out, you're closing the door, you're looking at it. As you're coming into your bedroom, you're looking at it every single day. When you're lying down in your bedroom, maybe at the top of the ceiling, whatever, in your room, next to your room, whatever. It's, you know, these are the last things that you're seeing and the first things that you're seeing every single day throughout the day as well. And I promise you, then it's going to become normal. 20 grand a month is going to be so normal. I promise you. But look, ladies, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. We've got people on the live as well. There was Nurain, Hamza, like some of the guys are watching this as well. Mewish, Vanilla. Look, it's been a pleasure having you all on the call. I know it was last minute, but hopefully everyone can watch the recording on this as well. Hopefully you found lots of value as well. Action some of the things that I told you guys to do.
Yes.
Any final words?
That was insightful, and I
yes,
really
thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. God bless. And